Chapter 484. Before returning to our regular routine, there are a few matters I must inform you of. The atmosphere, which had been lightened by a joke, suddenly grew quiet. Kishir scanned the faces of his attentive cavalry members, his eyes brimming with a confidence that was incomparable to before. Firstly, our cavalry has two new temporary members. Those of you who have been to the West will already be familiar with them. Additionally, we have one more person who will be working on various studies alongside our medical unit within the cavalry. Will the three of you please step forward? As soon as he finished speaking, Pruel, holding a cat in his arms, and Helem walked out from the back door. Unlike Helem's relaxed face, Pruel looked slightly tense behind his smile. I am the mage Helem. Originally, I resided in Paleta, which is the territory of our lord. I joined the cavalry in light of our recent journey to the west. My name is Pruel Vontaine. I possess the ability to transform into other people. This one here is my younger sibling, Nipolon, who can turn into a cat and usually stays in that form. When the members heard Pruel's name, a somewhat bitter smile flickered across their faces. Yes, it's understandable to be surprised. However, I have no intention of using this name within the cavalry. You may simply call me L. The murmur among the members grew louder at his request to be addressed as if he were a commoner. However, the members soon quietened down, having already witnessed the case of Reverend Sean Apeto, and seemed to accept the situation. As the initial surprise began to settle, Kishir resumed speaking, as if waiting for that moment. Lord Pruel, or rather L, sought us out, inspired by Revlin. Had it not been for the genuine help he gave us in Tenno, we would not have been able to wrap up matters so smoothly. Kishir objectively narrated the deeds Pruel had done in the West. Emotion welled up among several members as they heard the tale of Nipolon, who had grown up hidden from even their parents due to an innate condition, and Pruel, who had risked danger to aid the cavalry in order to save his siblings. Nipolon prefers to stay in his cat form, as he feels more comfortable that way than as a human. However, he says that he can be fairly comfortable in front of other awakeners, as long as he's with his siblings. So, let's make sure we all get along. Understood. Very well, the three of you may take your places. After the greetings, Helem, Pruel, and Nipolon stood beside the squadron members. Eager eyes stretched out here and there, longing to get a closer look at the small kitten cradled in Pruel's arms. Secondly, I would like to inform you of concerns the second round of cavalry recruitment set to happen soon. The members gasped at the news, even more shocking than the new temporary members. You have all shown tremendous results, deserving of your efforts and expectations. However, the truth is, with upcoming regional branches starting from the west, 300 members are not enough. Therefore, though a bit earlier than planned, we have decided to begin the second recruitment before the winter passes. So, do you intend to recruit from each region right from the start this time? Stiver raised his hand and asked. Yes, east, west, north, south, and potentially central as well. We plan to recruit from these 5 regions in total. Details on the locations and schedule for the entrance test will be confirmed and announced soon. Commander, you're not planning to personally go and select recruits from all these regions, are you? Kishir grinned at the question from a member who looked slightly concerned. Good question. Of course, I can't be everywhere at once. I plan to take charge of the central region, and the western region will be overseen by its local branch. The rest will be delegated to a selected few among you. Our deputies and assistant will likely be busier as well. Kishir explained the plan with an attitude that suggested he'd been preparing it for a long time. Excluding the central and western regions, the second round recruitment tests for the cavalry in the northern, southern, and eastern regions were slated to be managed by outstanding first round cavalry members familiar with the respective local conditions. Those who become examiners will conduct the primary tests for the awakeners applying for the second round of the cavalry recruitment. Their duty would also involve bringing the selected candidates to the capital. Kishir would then have the opportunity to assess these recruits from across the nation one last time. Preference will be given to those who apply first. So, if you are interested, inform the deputies or the assistant ahead of the time. The eyes of the members sparkled at the mention that the selected examiners, once a branch in the region is established, will have priority to apply. Also, depending on the mission success, they would be rewarded with bonuses and vacations. Yusuf faintly smiled, feeling the burning determination all around him. Anyone would want to apply after hearing such an offer, especially when they have had a taste of a delightful vacation and yearn for more. Kishir had likely mentioned the vacation beforehand to elicit exactly this kind of reaction. It was an astute understanding of human psychology. And lastly, the third point is about the party that will soon be held at the Imperial Palace. Kishir shifted the atmosphere to discuss what the members had been eagerly anticipating. I believe you all sensed that His Majesty the Emperor is pleased with our successful mission, as he personally welcoming us. Originally, we would have only received honors, but this has escalated to a grand party at the palace for the same reason. The party would not only include members of the cavalry but also many influential nobles from the capital. The members couldn't contain their surprise and delight upon hearing there would be guests of honor at a party in Cantamaria Palace, renowned for having the most beautiful banquet hall in the Imperial Palace. However, there is one difference between this upcoming party and the previous harvest festival you have attended. Kishir continued, smiling amid the excited atmosphere. This time, there will be a designated period for dancing. While I'm not sure about those who don't intend to dance, the first dance will certainly be ours, as the party is being held in our honor. Silence fell. The members looked at each other, still uncertain what to make of Kishir's softly spoken but firm words. I don't plan to restrict dance partners solely based on gender, as has been the custom. Another silence followed. The members cautiously met each other's eyes. Most of them had not yet fully grasped the significance or implications of what they had just heard. Finally, Gakane, who hailed from a noble family traditionally inheriting their rank, raised his hand and spoke. Commander, are you saying that we are not strictly restricting to pair men with women according to traditional rules? You have understood correctly. Only then did a buzz swell among the unit members. Is it really okay? It might be different if we were just drinking among ourselves and dancing however we like, but we are in the Imperial Palace, of all places. Even though they spoke thus when it came to choosing partners, everyone would likely move according to familiar criteria. That's what they all thought. And just at that moment, as if timing it perfectly, Kishir opened his mouth. Which is why I intend to have Yuzir Ale as my partner for that occasion. ... The training grounds, where the atmosphere had been far from serious despite the buzz, suddenly fell silent. The members said nothing, diligently processing the shocking statement they had just heard. The commander is going to partner with Yudhir? Does he mean to continue the act we started in Tenu? Is there a need to keep doing this here? Yudhir maintained a quiet silence in the face of the scrutinizing gazes directed at him. His eyes were fixed solely on Kishir, who stood at the front. As expected, nobody is taking it too seriously at first. Changing the traditional criteria for choosing a dance partner at the party to include Yudhir had been Kishir's idea even before today arrived. Seeing it as an appropriate first step to clearly convey his intentions, Yudhir had nodded without a word. Changing the standards for picking a dance partner at a mere party might seem trivial, but it was not a simple matter for those who would experience it firsthand. Ignoring the confused gazes of the members, Yudhir calmly opened his mouth. Yes, I will look forward to it. In that instant, the training grounds turned upside down in utter silence.